Let's get this show on the road. Ready, and action. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, hello there. It's Professor Victor Singing Eagle again. Hanawashite. And I probably mispronounced something already. Today is what? Thursday, March 6, 2025. This is lecture 13 of Native American literature here at Sisseton, Wahpeton College. And without any further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? Yes, we shall. Quick announcements and quick roll. We got Katie Robbins, Yuan Kai-ting, Gabrielle Nalen, Ye Jiahui, Christina German, De Li Ling, Gil Mapiatoin. Yes, I think I said it right this time. Ji Qing Yun. We have Doreen Dubois, Du Rui Bo. And last but not least, no, we got two more. It says here, Shishan Mei, Shana Cook. Last but not least, Bei Xueling, Sharon Abita. I was looking on e-learning, checking out who's been logging in and who hasn't, and it's starting to scare me because I gotta figure out your grades today and turn them in tomorrow. And I got this midterm progress report that's due tomorrow. And, well, if people haven't been doing stuff, how can I give you a grade? Never mind. Let's stay focused. Announcements also. Let's go back to our lesson plan. Spinning around like a crazy man. There we go. There's a whole bunch more emails that are in the box. Check them. Oh, Sylvan Flute's gone. Let me see. Oh, right. Some more stuff about textbook. That's probably for teachers. You guys are probably already gonna miss the pancake feed, but I mentioned it last time we spoke. Documents. Oh, that's for AHEC. I gotta be the driver, the bus driver for all the kids going to AHEC. Let me see. A flyer? What is that? A webinar for students. I haven't seen this one. Indigenous food sovereignty for emerging leaders program. Emergency. Anyway, says here something about indigenous food sovereignty. You should be getting this email, says to students. Have a look. Bonjour, by the way, is Chippewa language, and also they say it in Potawatomi, and we stole it from the French. Now, I've forgotten how to say hello in my language. I think we say kanishwa or something like that. Never mind. Let's go back to the email box. Oh, more stuff about grants. I think all this other stuff we went through before. But again, as I'm always saying, check your emails. Right, Pop Quiz B, I'm going to have that thing hopefully up and running tomorrow. And we're going to have a midterm after spring break. I postponed it because I've been going too dang slow in this class. 293 days till Christmas. Now, we're going to jump right into today's lecture. I'm going to save the storytelling till later. I want to introduce you to University of South Dakota Professor Norma Wilson. She's got a book out which is called The Nature of Native American Poetry, if I remember right. That's what she calls it. Let me pull it up for you guys. I know that I talk too much and I waste a whole lot of time, but this is something that is important for us. 4 minutes and 22 seconds. I'm going to pull it up here. No, not that. We're going to say that later. I'm going to type in, hang on, let me set the microphone down. Norma Wilson. We're going to call it Nature of Native. That's good. There it is, right there. I'm too lazy to go get the book out of my office, but let's look at the image. Give me the image, please. Ta-da! There's Norma Wilson. Oh, isn't she a darling? She taught at University of South Dakota. She's now an emeritus, meaning that she's sort of like a semi-retired professor, but she specializes in Native American culture and literature, particularly the cousins in down south of us, known as the Lakota with an L. Anyway, she wrote this awesome book called The Nature of American Indian or Native American Poetry, and I'm actually referencing this right now. One of the things that she says that I didn't put on our lesson plan is that a lot of famous Native writers, both in the US and in Canada, oftentimes got their start writing poetry first, and then they kind of branched out to fiction and memoirs and all that kind of stuff. That's one of her claims in that book that I just mentioned. But she also says, remember last time we spoke about this idea of Native American Renaissance. Remember I mentioned that before? Yes, I did. She argues that this has happened before, way back in the 18th and 19th century. And what does she mean by this, you see? Because you got to think about this for a minute. Columbus sailed the ocean blue in whatever the stupid poem is, 1492, right? Comes over and just blew the world's mind because, the Europeans thought they were the center of the universe. And then suddenly there's all these people on the other side of the planet. They have their own cities and their own civilizations and some of them even have their own writing systems and libraries, and it just freaked out these explorers. And as the word got out and went around, people started to get interest in these natives, these new people's culture. And we've got, according to Norma Wilson, the Romantics is kind of an influence, because this idea of living in harmony with your fellow man and nature, and that sounds really cool. The Romantics, according to Wilson, this is from the 1798 to 1837, says here, characterized by a celebration of nature. Their works described as expressive, visual, meditative. Nature was idealized as pristine, pure place where one can find refuge from personal problems. Yeah, so we got Blake, Coleridge, Wordsworth, Byron, Keats, Shelley, and the other Shelley. So this is something that Wilson argues is one of the effects or results of contact with the Europeans, the newcomers, to the natives over here in the Americas. Now, or I should say Turtle Island, as the Californians often say. Then it happened again in the want to say, what the heck, we're going to say the 19th century there. We got Emerson, Thoreau, Whitman, Margaret Fuller. These poets wanted to accept humanity's animal nature and get back to the original divine spirituality that is best found in nature. And where can you get it? From the Indians, because the Indians already have it. So remember last time we met, we talked about how in the 60s, 1960s that is, not the 1860s, in the 1960s, this kind of stuff happened again. There's an old saying, it says history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. And there's some other goofy saying that says, the people who believe in reincarnation say this SHIT happened before. But we're not going to get into that because we're going to stay focused, just say. Again, she also argues that these movements, these literary, poetic movements, are a reaction against the age of reason / enlightenment. This is the time when these European scientists and philosophers were saying, man is the essence of all things, man is the greatest creature on earth, and they didn't even want to. They wanted to divorce themselves from nature. You see, we're so much better than the lower creatures. We're not even creatures. We're one step below God, and blah 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 blah. And we gotta use our superhuman intellect. And don't get me started, because I'll just stand up here and start making fun of. Never mind. Let's keep going. So these two are a reaction against that idea. These romantics and the transcendentalists, they're reacting against this idea that man is separate from nature, man is better than the animals, and they're saying, no, 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 we're not. We need to get back. Characterized in their poetry and in their writing is a lot of rhythmic chanting, which they stole from the Indians, according to Norma Wilson. I shouldn't use the word stole. That's too strong, isn't it? Let's just say influence. That'll work. So, the similarities there stop is also what Norma Wilson argues. And we want to know how and why. How is it that all these wonderful 21 dead white men and Emily Dickinson, the romantics and the transcendentalists in particular, how do they differ? I mean, they're trying to get at what supposed natives have, but they don't get quite there. That's what Wilson is arguing. And the question, the challenge question for us is, well, how come? How? Why is it? How and why? How do they stop? So we're going to cut it off right there. I bet I've already spoken for like 10 minutes. Let me go back here and have a look, see how we're doing on time. Says here 11 minutes and 49 seconds, so I'm going to knock it off right here. Thank you so much. You guys have a nice time. Talk to you soon.